Officer Dan Kellerman's knuckles were white as he gripped the steering wheel, his rage a boiling pot with the lid rattling. He was late. The spot was his, and this old man with his steaming cart of cheap noodles was in the way. He flung the car door open, the uniform he wore even on his day off giving him a familiar surge of power. He was the law, and he was about to make sure this nobody understood that perfectly. Have you ever witnessed something you knew was wrong and felt powerless to stop it? This is a story about what happens when one person decides they aren't so powerless after all. The squeal of tires was the first thing that made Mr. Jin flinch. He'd been serving food on this corner for 12 years, and he knew the city's symphony well. That sound, however, was a prelude to trouble. A dark sedan had cut across 2 lanes, aiming for the one empty parking spot on the block, the very spot Mr. Jin's cart currently occupied. The driver's door flew open, and a large man in a police uniform emerged, his face flushed with anger. Mr. Jin's heart sank. He'd had run-ins before, but this felt different. This man wasn't on duty. He was radiating a personal, venomous fury. "What do you think you're doing?" Kellerman bellowed, closing the distance in 3 long strides. He jabbed a thick finger towards the cart. "Get this piece of junk out of my spot now." Mr. Jin, a man of 68 with gentle eyes and work-worn hands, tried to explain. "Good afternoon, officer. This is a commercial loading zone until 4 p.m. I have permit." He held up the laminated card hanging from his cart. Kellerman laughed, a short barking sound. "I don't care if you have a permission slip from the mayor. I told you to move." He stepped closer, invading Mr. Jin's personal space. "Are you deaf or just stupid? I'm a police officer. My spot." He punctuated the last 2 words by poking Mr. Jin in the chest. It wasn't hard, but it was aggressive and demeaning. Mr. Jin stumbled back, his hands raised in a gesture of peace. Okay, I move." His voice trembled slightly. Humiliation burned in his gut, hot and sour. Across the street, 17-year-old Leo sat on a bench waiting for his bus. He watched the scene unfold, his stomach twisting into a knot. He knew that vendor. The old man sometimes gave him an extra spring roll when he was short on cash. A surge of indignation washed over him. Pulling out his phone, Leo's hand shook as he hit record, hiding the screen behind his backpack. The video captured everything. It captured Kellerman's rage as he yelled, "People like you are a disease in this city." It captured him kicking one of the cart's wheels, and it captured Mr. Jin, silent and shamed, painstakingly maneuvering his heavy cart away. By the time Leo's bus arrived, the video was uploaded with a simple caption, "Cop bullies old man for a parking spot." He didn't think much of it. He just felt he had to do something. By the next morning, the video had 10,000 views. By evening, it was over 1 million. It was on local news sites and angry forums. The police department issued a short statement. "We are aware of a video circulating online, and the matter is under internal review. Officer Kellerman is a 15-year veteran with a distinguished record." It was a dismissal, a corporate brush-off. To Kellerman, it was a green light. He felt untouchable, but he was furious about the humiliation, and it didn't take long for him to find out who had filmed it. 2 days later, Leo was walking home when Kellerman's sedan pulled up beside him. This time he was in civilian clothes, but his presence was just as intimidating. "You're the kid with the camera," Kellerman said, his voice low and menacing. "You think you're a hero? You're a little rat. That video is coming down, tonight." He let the threat hang in the air before speeding off. Leo was terrified. His parents were terrified. They were a working-class family that avoided trouble. His father told him to delete the video immediately. "This is not our fight," he pleaded. "This man can ruin your life." Defeated and scared, Leo went to his room, his finger hovering over the delete button. He had tried to help, but he had only made things worse. The system was protecting its own, and a bully with a badge was going to win. But as he sat there, he thought of Mr. Jin's face, the quiet dignity that had been stripped away. He couldn't shake the image. Instead of deleting the video, he opened a new browser tab and started searching for Officer Dan Kellerman complaints. What he found was the beginning of the real fight. he discovered an old community message board with scattered posts from over the years. A woman who claimed an officer matching his description illegally searched her car. A small business owner who felt pressured to give the officer free meals. None of the complaints went anywhere, but they formed a faint, chilling pattern. Kellerman wasn't just having a bad day. He was a predator hiding in plain sight. Leo began messaging these people, sharing his video, asking if the man in it was the same officer. A few replied, hesitant but intrigued. Hope, a fragile and tiny spark, began to glow. His first real breakthrough came when a local investigative blogger, a woman named Avery, saw the video and Leo's subsequent posts. After a long call with his parents to assure them she would protect Leo's identity, she began to connect the dots. Avery's article, published a week later, was a bombshell. It wasn't just about the video anymore. It was about a pattern of abuse of power, with Leo's video as undeniable proof of Officer Kellerman's character. She named him. She detailed the past accusations. The story was picked up by major news outlets. The department could no longer ignore it. The external pressure was mounting, but the system was powerful. The police union assigned Kellerman a top lawyer, who immediately went on the offensive, claiming the video was deceptively edited and part of an anti-police narrative. The internal affairs investigation, which had been a formality, was now a serious matter. But it hit a setback. The key witnesses Avery had found were intimidated. One by one, they backed out, afraid of retaliation. The department issued a preliminary finding. Officer Kellerman had acted unprofessionally, but there was no conclusive evidence of a pattern of harassment. It looked like he would get a slap on the wrist. Just as hope began to wither, Avery got an anonymous call. It was from a retired cop who knew Kellerman. "He's a bad apple," the voice said. "Always has been. Look at the evidence locker logs from his arrests. Things go in, but they don't always come out." This tip gave Avery a new thread to pull. She passed the information to a trusted contact in the district attorney's office. The new investigation, now external to the police department, uncovered something far worse than bullying. Kellerman was shaking down low-level offenders, confiscating cash that was never logged as evidence. The case was no longer just about his anger. It was about his corruption. The final test was the Civilian Review Board hearing. It was a high-stakes event. Mr. Jin had to testify, as did Leo, his identity now protected. Kellerman sat across from them, stone-faced and defiant. Mr. Jin spoke first, his voice soft but steady, describing the shame he felt. Then came Leo, who calmly authenticated the video and explained why he filmed it. But the climax came when the DA's investigator presented evidence of the thefts, linking Kellerman to at least 3 separate incidents where confiscated money had vanished. His defense fell apart. Faced with criminal charges, his career was indefensible. The board's vote was unanimous, immediate termination. The final scene of Dan Kellerman's career played out not in the street, but in the quiet office of his precinct captain. Stripped of his authority, he was just a man in a room. He placed his badge on the desk, then his service weapon. The metallic clicks echoed in the silence. It was a quiet, unceremonious end to a 15-year reign of petty tyranny. A week later, Leo walked past Mr. Jin's corner. The old man smiled and waved him over, pushing a small paper bag into his hands. Inside were 2 warm spring rolls. No words were needed. The city's symphony played on, but for one small corner of it, the tune was a little more just. When someone in a position of power acts wrongly, do you believe it's the public's responsibility to film and expose them? Or should we trust the system to handle it internally? Share your thoughts below. And if you found this story of justice compelling, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss our next one.